They say great art is difficult to understand, but easy to enjoy.
Hey, Beavis. It's hard, but it's not like hard.
Yeah.
Do you know the best night I've had in the last 5 years is a night that Zoe and I split a bottle of wine, we made a summer salad, and watched chocolat together?
You mean chocolate?
Chocolat.
Chocolate with Johnny Depp.
Chocolat.
You're not fucking French, Pete. It's called chocolate.
Keep it gay, keep it gay, keep it gay. Keep it gay, keep it gay, keep it gay.
Good evening. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever, whenever, however you all are. Welcome to Clobby's Comic Shop, issue number 58. There's something special about that. Like, guys, what if we had the legacy numbering? Can we be like Marvel and just do the legacy numbering? Nah, we're not going to relaunch it. I ain't going to do that to you guys. I'm not going to subvert your expectations. Okay, let's take Mad Mardigan's face on Charles Bronson's Speedo body down, because I'm sure you guys have had enough. Oh, no, actually, no. Oh, it won't let me do it. What the hell, dude? Oh, hold up. Oh, there's Orangina. Oh, okay. Now we are here. What's up, dudes? And of course, we are on Rumble as well. Of course, some of you dudes are still arriving here, but let me post this link. Oh, all right. For those who like to have it both ways, we're on Rumble. Whoa, how did this come back? What the hell? It's like it's taking it personal. I swear, I was not trying to bring that back. I swear. Anyways, that's the Rumble link if you want to have it both ways. Or if you want to be a man of loyalty, be only on Rumble, you can do that. It's your choice. I don't care. I don't care. How's it going, Jonathan Conroy? D. Bud Martin. Hey, look. Ruben Christopher Hayes. Shut up, Andrew. Just stop. Hey, Lombardi 1969. How's it going, dude? Nice to see you here as well. And of course, JT's popping on Rumble as well. Yes. And what's up, Ram? Welcome to the show. It says Horseman. Let's go. So yeah, probably about a half hour. We'll actually get into the thick of it with the show. We're waiting for our buddy Joker from Velvet Room. He's been on here before. We did the Great War of Separation issue 2. So it felt like, okay, we can buy some time to shoot this shit for a bit. And then we'll get into the meat and bones of things. And it's going to be fun. I can't wait. I'm excited about it. So should be fun. Barbecue. Well, you had barbecue. I had pizza again today. I lived up to what I said. I said I was going to have pizza today. I did. Maybe I'll post a photo of it on Twix when I feel like it. But for now, y'all are stuck with me. And what a tragedy that is. Anyways, what's up, Garfield's Bizarre Adventure? I hope you're on a bizarre adventure today with us. All right, let's bring in JT Kirk. Welcome back, sir. Oh, no.
Hail, good evening. I boomered it. Straight out of the gate, boomered it. There we go. I also had pizza earlier this evening, so
was it good?
It was pretty good. Cottage Inn. It's a Michigan chain. I don't know how many there are, but it's a cross between like not quite a Hungry Howie's and a Papa John's. So
okay.
That's kind of where it's at. Nothing deep dish or anything, but some excellent pepperoni. Some excellent pepperoni.
I got a trade secret to let you in on about Papa John's. Ooh, that's a nice shirt. It's looking good. Looking good there.
There you go.
I want to touch that shirt. But
yeah,
it's great to see you again.
Yeah, thanks. It's great to be here. So, and I did bring out the issue from the last time, as well as this. And, if that cover isn't doing it for you, maybe this cover might do it for you.
Oh, that's the one that did it for me, actually.
I love that
was the one I felt quite touched by.
And if that doesn't do it for you, you got some great artwork on
Oh yeah.
this one.
Oh,
I know it's hard to see in
yeah.
the reflection.
Oh no. We can see. Maybe it's the way you angled it, but we are able to see it.
And then if that still didn't do it for you,
I'm
you
gonna
got
big
the
it
no
you.
words on the cover.
Oh yeah. Oh, so that actually was wordless. So they actually went all the way with that.
Mhm.
That's actually kind of cool that they did,
Yes.
because I thought, oh, they probably just forgot to add in the text and such. Nope, that was deliberate.
Indeed.
Okay.
Indeed.
Wow.
And it is hard to get the, the holographic off of that the way I have to hold it.
Yeah.
But there is, a woman in there on the mask. So a really nice
Oh.
effect. It was pretty cool.
Oh,
So,
here. Sure, that is cool.
you want to
Damn,
unembiggen me
dude.
now, you may.
Unembiggen. You hear that? It was the first virgin cover. I guess we need more virgins in the world. I mean, I don't think JT's gonna be opposed to virgin covers. I'm not.
No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all.
Just saying.
So, but
Screw you,
yeah,
Magic Johnson.
and other things have been coming in, Nick. I don't know if you've been getting everything that's been coming out, but it's like in the last week or two, we've gotten Zaylen #1, which might be my new favorite. I saw him #3.
Yes.
Yaira #3. Horseman #1.
Yes.
And
Horseman #2 got announced earlier this week.
Yeah.
Which
And then
I pre-ordered.
did Zine 4 ship already?
Dude.
Oh, you have it. You have it.
I have it. So
I don't have it.
What-
I don't know if I made an oopsies and forgot to order it, or if mine's just
it's okay.
it hasn't shipped yet. But
It's okay. It's okay. you could always follow up on that for another time. Yeah. Oh yeah. Garfield
course.
brought out a Great War as well. Great War #2. Yeah, they just been
Yep.
boom, 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 and it's been fun. It's been, and then of course Andrew, who's on the show, has a zine on the way too.
Very cool. Yeah.
I know it's a wild time. It's a wild time to be alive, but I am loving this. And you know what? Speaking of Andrew, since Mr. Joker is not here, let's just bring in Andrew here. Hi, welcome.
How's it going, gentlemen? Good to see you all again.
Good to see
Andrew,
you as well.
to see you.
Happy to be here. Happy to see everybody excited about getting all the Rippaverse books. I know there was like this rapid fire, like OG Predator, Old Painless style rapid fire of shipment that started happening like in the last 2 weeks, where we just started shipping out so much stuff that we finally got back from like CGC that we were waiting on. So yeah, like a lot of people, like because of how they had like say their hero stashes set up, some of their orders were delayed to wait for other projects, right? And so now you have people finally getting their copies of Great War 2 and
Okay. Yeah.
ISOM 3 and all of that, like Zaylen as well, What Kills Must Die, because they had backed other stuff that like went up for pre-order after those, but added those in there, and so like the shipments all shipped at once. So now people are just getting like this massive bombardment of stuff. So have fun getting caught up.
Yeah, I was
I was
like,
like-
ooh, I wonder what else we're going to talk about, because I am not 100% caught up. It's like just too much to do it in a week. It really is. But the Horseman #1, man, a great #1, a great launch.
Oh, yeah.
I really think so.
We'll get into about 20 minutes, but I figured since we got that little delay, why not do an unboxing live? I
Yeah,
haven't done one in
unbox
a
it. That's your
few
Zine
years.
4, right?
This is Zine 4.
Do it. Let's get it.
I'm going in. First, I gotta go for the scissors because I FedEx this sumbitch. Oh yeah, there we go. Now we're cutting it raw. Okay.
Wow.
Oh.
My God in heaven.
Yeah, I'm that guy. But I'm
Yeah,
proud to
I
be
know you're that guy.
This looks nice. Look at that. Ooh, yeah.
Our
Ooh,
warehouse
yeah.
team does a pretty good job of making sure that those packages are like secured and safe
Yes.
for shipment. So like we know how some shipping companies can notoriously be, allegedly. So
Mhm.
we want to make sure that like they have to be very deliberately trying to destroy the thing in order to have hopes of
Ooh.
destroying the thing. So we want it to
Ooh.
arrive
Mhm.
safely to y'all.
Well, I almost
Much
ended up
appreciated
destroying-
on that point.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing
Okay.
worse
Yeah.
than spending money on something, then it arrives damaged to you, and that's often not as much on the company, like the manufacturer, the producer, as it is on the the shipper. But we still try to do our best to mitigate that.
Do you remember in the Attitude Era, D Generation X?
Yeah.
Do you remember the infamous words Triple H would say, "Are you ready?"
I do recall that. I do recall that.
Well, chat, you better be ready. Let's whip these out right now because they look great. I'm gonna embiggen myself, which is really weird to say, but
Man,
here we
you're
are.
just all
You're
of
used
the
to doing that. I mean,
Oh yeah. Oh, that's nice.
you got the
that's
standard
nice.
cover there. Nice, nice.
Yeah, and then
Behind that, got the collectors. Nice.
yeah, I did. You know what? Funny enough, I think this is my first collector's cover. Yeah, this is a first for
Very
me.
nice.
You know, I know this is special. I'm excited about this. I'm curious to see what things got added. I'm very curious to see, and of course, I'm looking forward to the story as well. But I'm happy when I saw this earlier. I was like in Beavis and Butthead mode because I knew what was in the package. I'm like, yes, I got shipping privilege. No one else was talking about. Obviously, I'm just assuming that just because wishful thinking.
Oh,
But
of
I just
course.
was just like, I was like, no one else talk about getting it. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say, "Oh, it's shipped." I'm like,
We've
maybe I just
only
haven't seen the
seen like
post.
a handful of people, honestly.
I'm not in
Like
Texas. I'm all the way in Illinois. So for me to
yeah.
get this,
So you
bro.
got yours fast because I think we started shipping them Thursday. I
Yes.
think so.
Yes.
Like you got it quick.
I feel like Sonic. What's up, Jeremy B? Welcome to the show, sir.
Yeah,
How are
yeah.
you? No, so I'm just thinking, okay, we still got, even though it's Rip Ascend, Golden Patriot, and then
Mhm.
after that,
Mhm.
probably what, Saints and Sinners, you think?
Saints and Sinners is probably going to be sometime in September. But our warehouse
Oh.
and fulfillment people will be more in the know on that than I.
Oh.
No, the turnaround on that one once it's printed and we get it
Uh-huh.
will be pretty quick because there's no CGCs for that, so we won't have to send it off
Oh,
to because that adds a whole nother layered process because we got to inspect the books and then we ship out the requisite number of copies to CGC. Then they inspect the books, then they do the grading, and that's not even counting the signing procedure as well. And then they got to ship them back and we got to inspect those and make sure there aren't any damages. So like adding CGC adds so much to the process, whereas when we don't have CGC books, we just get them, inspect them, and then you get them
And they're off to the races. Simple as that. I'm glad I'm a simple guy. I just like to have the books. I like to read the hell out of them. I'm a simple man like that.
Mhm.
I'm simple like that. It's like, yeah, autographs are cool, but I like reading the stories, and my copies are all probably gonna get banged up and fall apart one day just because I go through them. You know what? That's fine. Battle scars are good. I'm a fan of battle scars. It lets me know the book was being read, and that there's something for me. There's a bit of an honor in that. Like it's like don't feel bad for the book being a little banged up. It means that it's getting its use. That's what I see out of it. I get it for the collector's idea. I get it. It looks all nice and pristine. I like the way it looks. I'd be lying if I said I didn't. But for me, like, and then my oldest daughter, she's starting to inherit it from me. But she's worse than me. Like all her books are starting to get so banged up from the usage that they're reading. I'm like, wow, okay, she's officially worse than me on this. Garfield asks, "Oh, no Velvet Room Publishing this stream." He wasn't late. He always said he would be around 6:30. So we're just gonna buy some time is all. So you know, Andrew, we spoke in Dallas a few weeks ago, and somehow you're able to tell me a thing that I won't tell the people. But you're telling me about a character that you would like to do. And I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. And so I was happy to get that on you. But little did you not tell me that you already had done something in past tense.
I mean,
you slick bastard. You are
Slytherin.
slick.
What can I say? I'm a Slytherin.
I'm thinking like, okay, I'm happy this is happening, but really? He told me about future tense, but he didn't tell me anything about present or past.
What can I say? It was a fun thing to tease. I've teased it multiple times, actually. People just didn't
Oh
pick
yes,
up on
I've
it.
noticed your post now about
Like,
the
I think in
True
retrospect,
Blue.
yeah, people in retrospect are now looking at like, oh, he was actually saying something there. Yeah, no, I was teasing it without saying anything, which was a ton of fun for me because I just get to snicker over here like an idiot and be like, they have no idea. But then, obviously last week we announced it, and it's been an incredible reception. The fans' hype for my short story Blue Shift Tryouts in Ripazine #5 has been incredible. I've had people DMing me that are part of our fan base, who like spend more time on other platforms than I do, because the main platform I use is X, but
Yes.
I have
Mhm.
friends and we have people in the fandom who spend more time on, say, Facebook or Instagram or TikTok, and like they see different like layers of fan interactions and different like reception from a completely different audience than what I usually have keen eyes on. And it's actually pretty astounding, like the reception that this is getting. It's super humbling. I'm just kind of like, well, I hope you guys don't think it sucks. I'm glad so many people are hyped. Hopefully they feel that same way after they finish reading it.
Nice. No,
Looking forward to it. I really am.
Damn
Yeah.
time there's a speedster. It's one of those things where you would think we would have gotten it sooner, but it all kind of makes sense that we didn't. Now that once again I think about in retrospect, because
Yeah.
you've been on a show a handful of times. We've obviously have had our Flash discussions. You make it apparent on your videos, your streams, how big of a Flash fan you are. So this has made
And
a
Sonic.
lot. The Sonic. I've seen a lot of the Sonic references.
Yeah.
I have seen them too. So you clearly, like Top Gun, you have a need for speed, and it shows. And so it kind of worked out that you got to be the guy that did that. I'm happy.
It's quite the privilege. Eric is also a fan of speedsters. He was a big Flash guy.
Oh, yeah.
When he was younger, before he decided that Batman was his favorite DC hero. Which, hey, no disrespect, it's Batman. But for him to be willing to give me that privilege and that honor of introducing our first like solo speedster character, where like this character is the focus. Sure, he'll have a supporting cast around him, and those characters will be very integral to his stories, will be very important, but he is ultimately the focus. For me to be the one that gets to kind of like take that baton is pretty special, and I don't take it lightly. And I think he showed real faith in me to be able to do that, and I'm incredibly grateful for that.
Nice. What's up, Jay? Obviously, you were a writer on Saints and Sinners. How you doing? Dehelm29, Student of God. Welcome, fellow dudes. Nice to see more of you dudes piling on in here. I'll be getting some of the Ripazine plus and plus. Nice. I like how
That
the
poster
become a collection.
Man, I'm biased as all hell. But I think that's the coolest looking poster. That is the coolest looking poster we have ever had, bar none. I mean, Kanan doesn't have a bad piece. He doesn't know how to do that. He doesn't know what that is. He couldn't spell it if he tried. Because he's just that freaking good. But having both Kanan on it, on top of that, having my favorite comic colorist, Andrew Dahlhaus, do the colors for it, just blew my mind.
Very cool.
Hell yeah.
There was actually the double pager in Horseman that I thought would make a really cool poster. I don't know if you know the one that I'm talking about here. Let's see.
I have a few that
this one.
I get thought about.
This one
Go ahead,
here.
look it up. Oh, the man cave.
Yeah, the man cave.
Dude,
Yeah,
I loved that one.
Oh, that's not just the man cave. I mean, he says what it is. It has a name in there.
Stable. Yes.
The stable.
The stable.
I like that.
Right.
Which I love that. I feel like, so we're not talking full Horseman yet until Joker gets here, but that to me was like, Chuck did that for me personally. He didn't, but like in my head canon is he did, because that's the play on words type of stuff that thank you, Jay. Thank you. God bless you, brother. Like that's the type of stuff I love in comics. The like super on the nose, play on words. Like that's what I'm here for, man. And
That
Chuck
sings
is so
to my
good
heart.
at it. Yeah. Chuck is so good at that kind of thing. Like
I
when
know
he immediately had me in Alpha Core #1 when he created Billy Bob Quinn, whose initials are literally BBQ. And I'm like, this is why I love this man. In the most heterosexual way possible. Right? Like
I mean, are you sure on that? I mean, you are on a Nick stream. Sometimes, you know, it's okay to just be true about your good old Rocky 3 never lets us down in our lives. It will always be there to support us.
Well, you do also have the singing number. Yeah. Well, your Tuesday singing number.
Yeah.
I mean, one more time.
Keep it gay, keep it gay, keep it gay. Keep it gay, keep it gay, keep it gay.
I mean, it's got a good jingle to it. I'm just saying.
It does.
I was actually kind of dancing.
That is remarkable.
That's remarkable.
I don't, you know. Somehow I'm not surprised when I'm here. I always know what to expect.
Yeah, and it's kind of like a process of getting ready for a show. It's like, oh, okay, I gotta get a certain way because I know things are gonna go down. And then there's the leaving, after the leaving show. Maybe you might need to take a shower, may need to cleanse yourself, remind yourself that you're straight. There's a process to this.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm not sure I can hear you guys right now, but
we can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Thing all wrong. Let's see.
Okay,
You're not all wrong. You're all right. You're all right. You had problems last time, but this time you came in here and you're all right. We can hear you, and you're perfect, dude.
But I don't think he can hear us.
Oh no!
I think he needs to switch his audio output.
You need to be Keanu Reeves level of breathtaking and hear us too. It's got to be very mutual, okay? The Fizzoco corner or Fizzoco corner. Hello, and what's up, Deeple11? The bodies are piling in. Thank you guys for being here. It's gonna be fun today. It's gonna be very fun. So while we have a good chunk of you here, why not get this out of the way for our chat? Well, Joker gets his audio situated.
Yeah.
So,
I'm all good now.
oh,
Excellent.
yes!
Excellent.
Yes! Well, to the 15 of you being here, thank you for supporting Clobby's Comic Shop, issue number 58. We appreciate the hell of you. Are we ready to talk to Horseman #1? Andrew, are we ready to talk about this? Joker?
Dude,
Yeah, no, I got the hat. I got the hat on.
I'm never not ready to talk a Chuck Dixon book. Okay.
Let's go! That was good. That's some Knob Creek in there too. I am ready. Deeple, I'm sorry to your reminder. YouTube's game retarded, but we're less game retarded. So hopefully we make up for it. So, anyways, we'll start off with Joker since he arrived here. Sir, what were your initial thoughts on the Horseman #1? Like, just give us your quick rundown, your overall thoughts.
Well, I did put my review of Horseman #1, as I've done with every Rippaverse book except Alpha Core. And when Alpha Core 2 comes out, I'll do an overview. So I'll be fully caught up. But my initial thoughts, I love the book. And it's a really great establishment of the character after Welcome to Florist Park. So he deals with, and when I say he, I'm talking Chuck Dixon, deals with the fallout from Welcome to Florist Park very well. And just as it's getting interesting, just as you're like, I want to see more of it, it ends, which makes me really happy that the second book is in the pre-order phase right now, because we're going to get this continuation of the story pretty sooner rather than later. And that's what you really want after reading Horseman #2. I remember, when I had read it, I slammed the book against that table. I was so you can't leave it there, Chuck. I need to know what happens next. But that's the best part of reading a comics, like that feeling of like I need to know what happens next, and that's what I had after reading Horseman #1. And of course, Joe's Bennett's art is fantastic. Not as many spreads as he has in his other books, but art is still really, really good. But this was much more like, I wouldn't say filler, but exposition and character development rather than these hardcore action scenes like you saw in a lot of Welcome to Florist Park and his other work, especially like a lot of the interstellar scenes with Zalen were very action focused, very much not really story, but just like Zalen just like stopping the spaceship from light speed and stuff like that. Not a lot of that in Horseman #1. It's much more just getting Horseman into this position where he can have the rest of his ongoing series. And Chuck does that really well, and Joe really still makes it feel very dynamic, even though these are much more toned down scenes than what we were dealing with in Welcome to Florist Park. But that's my bird's eye view of it, even though it's still pretty rambly.
He said
No,
bird's
dude.
eye view.
That was good. That was good. All right. JT, batter's up.
All right. So reading this reminded me of maybe, I don't know what age you want to call this, but a more a comic book from another age, and maybe in a great way, like a Bronze Age or a Silver Age type comic where you're getting not a Superman read, but maybe kind of, well, there's probably half a dozen that I could say it feels like this, it feels like that. But the style of the comic to me was much more of a classical read, complete with the closer of the very last page, the way that it ends, the way that it does. I won't spoil that for anybody who might be waiting to read it yet. Made me want to read the next issue. And I loved that format gave some strength to reading The Horseman, that helped the character out. It helped the story along. I never felt at any moment that the story was dragging or that there was too much talking, not enough doing. As Joker said, there was more exposition this time around than maybe Zalen or Alpha Core, some of these other books. And that was good. That was really good. I like the character that gets introduced here that I don't know if he is, we'll just call him the benefactor at this point, Buxton. The benefactor,
Buxton.
you don't know if he's good, bad, what's going on. But I can empathize and understand the thought process behind Hector and how he doesn't really want to be bought by this person. And it was such an easy read from the point that everything just made sense. Mm-hmm. And so part of that is part of the style, but also the substance was great too. So I also just really, really loved the art. I think from looking at a lot of the other art that might have been done by the same artist or different artists, this is really my style. Like, I was really digging what was going on. So, and not that I've ever seen any bad art so far, don't get me wrong, but just the way that it read, I'm like, man, I wish that I could read like the next 10 issues right now coming after it. So without getting into spoilers, that was my initial thought. And the Horseman's also badass, by the way. People didn't see this cover earlier.
No, yeah, here, let me embiggen you really quick
Sure.
so people can get in. Ooh, that does look okay. Yeah, see,
there we go.
Like
get some
that,
of the
dude.
glare
Woo!
back.
That is nice.
I love
Ooh,
all the
nice.
detail, even in stuff that you might not necessarily first focus on. But the back of the legs get some nice wrinkle going there. The textures are unique on a lot of stuff. It was just nice. And I know, well, I don't know if you're going to get in trouble for showing some of that stuff, Nick. So maybe I should do that as a YouTube. But hey, so just the cover. If I were to see this in a bookstore, that is grabbing. That is grabbing. That is cool. I would pick it up and want to read it. So yeah, there you go. In the vehicle, I give that vehicle a 10 out of 10. That one's my favorite cover. That is my favorite cover.
Oh, it's a man's man type of vehicle. It felt like one of those issues.
Yeah.
This is written by a dude, made for dudes. and dudes are gonna latch on because it's the man cave issue. It really they might as well call the Horseman the man show. It really is. Like it's like, are you into the movie Predator? Were you into the show The Man Show? Well, then you need to read the Horseman. It's a man's man type of story. It really is. Do you got anything else you want to add?
No, but I agree with you. Yeah, there's a lot of testosterone in that, and I love the normie job that he does too. The selection of
Unipack, I think. Yeah, Unipack.
Yeah. So that was kind of cool too. The I don't know, not a newspaper writer, not of this, not of that, but he just does this job, and you feel every thought of going through his mind when he did that job. So anyway, there you go.
Okay, I guess I'll go into where my headspace is, where the Horseman #1. What I like about this, it reads like it feels like almost more like a monthly comic book. That's my biggest thing for me. It felt like I was reading a regular issue, and then it set me up for the cliffhanger, and lo and behold, the next issue is coming up in a few months. So it felt like it was almost written with that intent in mind. Like, okay, we're gonna get #1 out, and we're gonna go straight into #2, because obviously the Horseman Welcome to Flores Park was written as a one shot, and that was all written with presumably, in my opinion, with okay, let's just give this everything we got, because who knows how well this will do. It may do okay, may not do good even, but let's just give it everything we got, and let's just go all in. But now, since obviously there was a market, it responded obviously enthusiastically. They're like, okay, well, now that we got this, we can go into some of the finer other details, and we got to know his family more. We got to know his job more. We got to see who are the people he deals with, whether he's being the Horseman or Hector Caballero. Also know his backstory. We also have a vague idea of where the name kind of came from a little bit. So I do like that we're getting into this exposition phase. I felt like it was actually really necessary. It didn't feel like it dragged on. It was, 56 pages, I think? 56, I think, maybe 60. I don't know. It's a quick read, but once again, it adds to that monthly comic book format story. Like, I feel like we're just now in like comic book monthly format with the Rippaverse now, especially now with the frequency. Definitely adds to that as well. I do like that in this comic, we're getting this Cal Buxton character. That's a big thing for me. I liken this character because, wow, he feels like a wild card's wild card. Like, there's wild cards, but then there's this guy who is doing all these wonderful things. I'm still wondering, what's the catch? That's what I'm terrified of, is what's the catch? Because every time something comes up, and a lot of it comes off as too good to be true. A lot of too good to be true. I like that we're getting in a lot of expansion of stuff in Forest Park. Obviously, we know the job he's at, Unipark. We have a brewery, Shoop Brewing, which, by the way, we need to have an official beer, like Rippaverse, like pale ale or something. We need that. Now that you've added the brewery, now that you put the brewery there, we got to have like an ale or something. We got to do it. Because now that the bar's there.
Or a bourbon.
Oh, hey, I won't complain. It's that.
Now you're talking. Speaking my language.
Either way, we need to have a menu there. Whether that needs to be included in a future zine issue of the Shoot Brewing menu. Ooh, see, now we're planting seeds and ideas there. Beer, whiskey. I don't know what would be the fries of Flores Park. I don't know, but I'm thinking of the food menu because of course I am. I like the world expansion, whether it's the businesses that exist or just him dealing with his family life. And his family life, his nephew, Danny, love that kid. Between the blackmail he's doing to sing a movie, because we all know it's like, I'm sure all four of us were that guy. We all had that one guy we want to latch on to. You got the connection. You want to help me out. The humor was absolutely excellent in this issue. And you know what? I was fine with those humor, family-filled moments, because it was very heartwarming, wholesome at times even. And the fact that Danny's mom is the most mom ever. She's like, Danny, it's past curfew. I was like, oh, wow. Everything about this is super relatable. So it really humanized this story. So obviously, as much as I like my 80s action hero type of stories, I love the humanization of Hector's family and himself. And he shows you what it's like now dealing with everything he's got because he can't be the Horseman, at least to the open world, because he was sent a message. But he's conflicted because, well, fighting is kind of what he does best. So why? Yeah, what else can he do? And he's got a job. It's like, yeah, it pays the bills, but he doesn't feel good about it. So yeah, there was a lot more to dig in from a story angle, which I appreciate from this issue. And I mean, of course, Snow is white, Water's wet, Peter Parker is Spider-Man. Of course, Joe Bennett's art is great. And we got 2 killer splashes. And it feels like it's almost now like an obligation outside of Zaylan. It feels like Alpha Core just needs to show up in every other issue that takes place on it. It feels like almost like a rule now, and I'm not going to complain about that rule. I'm really not. It's actually a rule that I favor and I'm all down for. So yeah, I really enjoy this issue. Solid issue. I can't wait to see where number 2 goes of this. It makes me wonder, is he gonna start to go Charles Bronson come issue 2? I don't know, but a man can dream.
Nick, part of the thing with Buxton, I think people are saying that he's a good guy, he's a bad guy. We don't really know what's the catch, like you said. What did you think of the Boffins, the 3 Boffins that were introduced?
Boffins. Oh, the IT people?
Yes.
Oh,
well,
they
yes.
are. Dude. I'm concerned. I'm concerned. I'll put it that way. I'm very concerned what is going on with them because they have the access that they do. Having that type of power, especially in the hands of Cal Buxton as their main man, I'm kind of concerned, but I hope it makes for great entertaining fun. So as concerned as I am for Hector, for me as a reader, I'm very excited where it's going to go because I want there to be blood. Lots of blood.
I loved those 3 because they add an element to Buxton that adds another wild card, but he might not even be able to control those 3. So there's just so much unknown or so much mystery or just unpredictability that could happen with adding those 3 on top of Buxton or as a part of him. That I think this is going to add a cool element in the future whenever Horseman number 12 comes out or something.
Which actually now doesn't sound now out of the realm of possibility. That's the crazy part of this all. It actually feels like we're in a world where that could absolutely exist. And I can tell Chuck Dixon is riding with the long game in mind. However many issues that goes, whether it's 12, 20, 50, I can tell he's now, you can see the way he writes adjusts in this story. I noticed the way he writes for a one-off versus how he writes for an ongoing. You could see the adjustment he makes for it. With a one-shot, he kind of, I'm going to have a story there, but I want the action to really take a little extra priority because in case this is it, let's just, let it be all guns blazing. But now that he gets to have these characters and these villains he's creating, he can expand the world a bit and take his time a little bit more. And so when we get to the action, it's going to be so much sweeter. So I could tell his adjustment, and I like that he adjusts to that because I feel like that sometimes is necessary to do. And you notice you can appreciate stories like that because, okay, now I see why we didn't have the family there and have all the stuff there because now we need to just kind of get this out of the way. But now that we get to know them, we're in this for the long haul. So I'm really liking that we're really in this for the long game.
For sure.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Oh, God, there's so many. Yeah, Cal Buxton, I'd say between him and Danny, they may be my favorite characters in this book. Him and Danny.
Right.
Cal Buxton with his power, but then Danny. I mean, come on. That little kid. What word did he say, by the way, that was inappropriate? Do we know?
I want to know that.
I want to know what word he said. What was the inappropriate word that he said that set his mom off?
Well, seeing as I saw the script before we added the bleeps to it, I know, but I won't say.
Ah, you be like that. You son of a
Use your
bitch.
imagination.
Oh, trust me, there are plenty of
Oh, I
options.
did. Don't get me wrong. I thought about was it pussy? Was it cunt? Was it shit? Was it fuck? Like I thought of all like I spent some time in my head. I'm like, what was that word? What was that word? Also, I want to know: is it intentional that when characters like Brian Solari speak Spanish, you guys want us to translate that shit on Google to see what's actually being said?
So we leave that usually a writer's choice. A lot of times you'll have different approaches to that, to varying languages that are not English. So, like for example, in Yaira #1, right? You have Stefania and other characters speaking Spanish, as well as you have the alien language of Yaira's people, right? From Yasa and Yatsumi.
Mm-hmm.
Some writers will deliberately translate every single line of that dialogue, right? They'll put in the little bracketish things, and they'll say like, this is, and then you'll have a little caption box at the bottom that says translated from whatever, right? But then you'll also have instances where the writer leaves it up to the reader, because sometimes the storytelling that's happening on the page with the art gives you enough of an idea of what is being said that you don't need to literally know what's being said, right? You can fill in those blanks yourself. However, that's really kind of left up to the writers. And a lot of people have their own preference, right? Some people I like having it all translated just into English for me to see right there on the page. I want to know what they're saying automatically. I don't want to have to pull up whatever Google Translate or ChatGPT or whatever the heck else, right? And do a quick type in, what the heck are they saying here? And have it done for you that way. It's a writer's choice type of thing, is what it is. I think my preference is like a healthy blend of it. I think there can be instances where you don't necessarily need to translate every single line.
Okay.
I
have an idea.
I did not take Spanish. I took German, but I still could pick that out. I thought it said basically, ladies, may I have your attention? Evacuate the facility immediately. So
that's actually not far off. That is darn close enough to where you actually got the idea of what was being said, and that's where you have to. And this is a testament to Chuck, because Chuck is a master at his craft, where he knows how to set up and lay out a scene to where he's using just enough dialogue there in the middle of an action sequence to where your focus is on the action sequence, and so you can probably guess pretty reliably, even if you don't read or speak whatever that other non-English language is, what's being said, right? And that's a testament to just Chuck's masterful ability.
I gotta acknowledge this comment here. Another question is who the mystery man's dating Patty. Some have even theorized that it's actually Cal Buxton. It's definitely an interesting theory.
That would be a fun twist, wouldn't it?
That'd be something else, wouldn't that?
That would be about as unsettling as when Michael Keaton came to the door in Spider-Man Homecoming, and you realize the date Peter Parker is going out with, her dad is Adrian Toomes.
Yep.
Oh, man.
What do you think Hector would do if he just saw Rex come in the front door or sitting there eating like Fruit Loops one morning, and he just walks into the kitchen?
Man.
Buxton strikes me as a special K kind of guy.
Well, yeah. What do tech bro billionaires do for cereal in the morning? That's a good question.
I want to try some of the cereal Danny had.
Now, would he drink real milk, or would he require like oat milk?
He'd probably have some fancy ass stupid shit.
Yeah.
Oh, of course he has some retarded shit. Hector Lee Caballero knows that vitamin D hole is the only way that's real. The occasional glass of chocolate milk, but then there's guys like Cal Buxton who need to have some oat milk shit. Oh man, fucking bastards! I don't respect that.
I don't trust
I
him.
like you, Cal, but now my trust is really lessened because of that. Yes, I do agree. Chuck did give an idea of what was being said, at least like expressively. So I'm like, okay, I think I know what's going on here, but I have taken photos because I'm like, I want to see what this actually says because I am very curious. But now I know it's all done for storytelling purposes. It's nothing unique that's being said. It's just storytelling. Okay, because I was wondering what was the direction with that. And I've noticed between Chuck and also the sisters, a lot of people really like to speak Spanish in the verse. I noticed apparently it's almost like Spanish.
We are in Texas.
Yes, true.
In a lot of our stories, not all, but a good portion of them take place in Texas. You're going to have a fairly reasonably high Hispanic population, Spanish speaking population. So even if it's not their first language, like for example, Ingrid, she speaks Spanish. Solari speaks Spanish. So,
well, outside of the Texas flag, and I guess you could say the American flag, there's almost a close third for seeing the Mexico flag. Sometimes you'll see many houses that'll have all three. I remember when last time I was in Texas driving, I remember seeing many houses, Texas, America, or Texas, Mexico, or America, Mexico, or even just Mexico. So yeah, the Mexico flag is basically like the state's third flag, if you will. So yeah, I could definitely see that. But I thought I was like, okay, these guys just know Spanish, but obviously you're accommodating to the Texas way, which that's very commendable. That's freaking awesome. Once again, adding that Texan authenticity to it all.
Well, and the president of Texas in War of Separation also speaks badass. So
yeah,
he does.
He speaks badass.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does.
Oh,
Thought he was invading Connecticut. Dang, Chuck, my God. That is my single favorite line in our entire publishing line so far.
That's like my favorite line so far in 2025, like in anything, anywhere.
Unreal, though.
It's been that.
That is just, that line goes hard.
It did. That I felt the momentum shift with a line like that. I'm like, wow, movie writers wish they wrote a line like that in their dialogue for any of their great characters. That was straight up poetry what he created with that moment. It's great. So let's talk about the man cave. When I saw that ship, I was like, wow, this book like has so much testosterone. It's great. It's like get a list of things that like make you a man like quickly. Maybe argue like watching the movie Predator is one of them, especially when you see that I don't know if you call it a handshake or a clap or earth-shattering movement.
Oh, between Carl Weathers and Arnold's characters.
Whatever you want to call that. There's I feel like you watch that movie and like if like a 12-year-old boy watches that movie, he'll probably have a beard by the end of the movie.
How old was I when I saw the first Predator? I think I was like 10. I did not have a beard,
something like that for
but
me.
I actually saw Predator 2 first. I was
really?
My dad had no idea though. Like I snuck out into the living room while he was watching it super late at night because I couldn't sleep. So I saw about 90% of the movie. I was just sitting like underneath the arm of the couch on the side, so he had no idea I was there.
I might have actually seen number 2 before I saw number 1. Number 2 had Danny Glover in it.
Yes,
right?
it did.
So
Which actually is a good sequel, and not just because the ones that came out after were not so good. It's actually a good movie. The only issue is it had to follow up Predator, which is an all-timer of testosterone and Schwarzenegger, Jesse Ventura, Carl Weathers. I mean, you're following up Lightning in a Bottle with that movie. I mean, and some of the greatest quotes are in that movie. It's one of those movies where if Predator 2 probably came out first, it would probably be a lot more well regarded because of what it had to follow. So it was just no matter what you put out following Predator, it's a right movie, but wrong place and time.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I'm at. But anyways, the Horseman, the man cave, dude. That's a dream world. Like that big vehicle, all the guns, his helmet there. I can see the chest pieces there. I just look at that. I think that spread was probably the thing I spent the most time looking at. Looking at my
for sure.
Wow.
For sure. I thought that was
place.
my favorite, that
I'm
2-page spread there.
Where we're going over it. Oh, look, you can see the engine being held. You can see the brake rotors as well. Oh, dude, it is just so cool. The fact that he's made out of that big ass vehicle.
What song is playing there as the montage? Because there's a montage in the movie of this comic book.
Oh yeah,
of him building this massive tank of a vehicle, building his cave, all of that kind of stuff. I'm just like, oh yeah, we have.
I'd like to think he'd be playing some like Black Sabbath, probably like Pink Floyd, maybe like any like 80s classic rock. I imagine he'd be playing like a playlist of that. Like he'd have a mixtape while he's working on it. But yeah, I just love this idea that he's just like at a garage souping up his Humvee, and then he's doing that at like 2 or 3 in the morning. Then he's got to go to work at 9. It's just, and that's the life that he's living.
That's a quick way to get tired.
Yeah, but yeah, that is like when you don't but the thing is that's what you got to do. He's like doing the third shift as the Horseman, and then he's working the first shift job, which is insane. But this is what he wants to do, and this really gets into the whole ethos of his character. You see his life as a civilian, and he just can't deal with that. Like he's on edge. His nervous system is tuned to being on the war front. And then with Cal Buxton, I've made this commentary, and I know Ram, Garfield are in the chat. They're regulars on Braxcast Live and my recorded stuff, so they probably know that I've said this. But I think there's going to be a falling out between Cal and Horse because
it's not if, it's when.
Yeah,
it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, so for me, it's going to be like Cecil and Invincible. If you guys read Invincible,
Love Invincible.
Yeah, so like you know how like Mark has an issue with how Cecil is doing things, right? It's going to be a similar thing, and I think that would be a good way to like segue Horseman from having Cal do his logistics and I guess gear procurement to Gooding, because that's one of the things that I know Garfield says like, oh, Gooding could work with Horseman. I think he'd be 100% willing to, but for now. He just wants to get back into the game. So you're going to have this, but it's definitely going to be a one thing. But it doesn't, I don't know, to me, it doesn't seem like Cal is, like his motives aren't as pure as he says that they are. But if you're a, eccentric tech billionaire, that's the way it's going to be. And I think the people that are working for him, like, let's see, there's, Daltrey, Fat, and Prissy. Those 3, like, I guess IT people, I don't think they're the most like I'm not too concerned about them because they're not physically intimidating. They can get the information, they could wreak a lot of havoc that way. But if you have all the information in the world and you can't execute on it, then you really can't do much with it. So they need someone like Horseman. They're going to need someone to actually execute on the information that they're collecting. And that's the way I see about them. But also they only appeared in like 1-2 pages, so we really don't know enough about them for me to make any like hard like predictions or inferences on how their characters are going to affect even the story of Horseman, and we're only 1 issue into it. So there's just this a lot of like development that needs to happen before like I'm comfortable saying how these characters are going to be.
I was teased just enough that raised a level of concern for Hector, because sometimes I'm a less is more type of guy, and I feel like what little we got them was like, oh boy, their type of thinking and power in the wrong hands, which I'm almost positive, almost Magic Johnson positive, might I add you, That type of power in the wrong hands is very scary. Anyways,
You got that Cartman
on top
reference
of,
in there.
on
Yeah.
top of
Mhm.
making a cross reference of Magic Johnson, Deeple 101 sends a $1 Rumble rant. He says, I just finished Horseman #1. Talk about an interesting setup. Also, Chuck, if you are listening to the show, I extremely dislike the blue balling ending of the issue that you did. When is #2? We got, well, dude, we got
Well, number
news for
2 is
you.
up for pre-order right now.
Yeah.
That launched on
See,
Thursday.
People,
Let's
I
get the
actually
link
liked
out.
that. It felt like a monthly issue, like Nick said. That was
That's
part
what I
of what I
love
was
about
saying.
that.
The format of this feels like a Bronze or a Silver Age comic book, where, you know, as Nick said, is a monthly format where you get interested in #2 coming up, and you
gotta have a
want to
reason
read
to
that.
want to get #2, right? And so
Right.
you got to have
This worked.
some sort of a cliffhanger, right? It doesn't have to be like some crazy cliffhanger, but you got to give your reader reason to be like, I need to know what happens next, right? You earn that cliffhanger by giving them interesting things from page 1 to page whatever the length of the book is, right? I think Horseman #1 is somewhere around 56 pages. You know, so you have to earn that cliffhanger, but if you do your job with that, then that's just kind of the icing on the cake that your reader's going to be like, I got to get the next issue. And that's exactly where you want your reader to exist perpetually. Actually, when you're writing a comic book, you want them to know what happens next, whether we're talking a spacefaring epic, whether we're talking some big action, you know, series, whether we're talking something that's just got more drama than it does action. As long as you're doing your job with that drama and doing it well to where they're like, what's next? That you want your reader to be constantly existing in a state of, I need to know what's next. Right. So they want to turn that page. They want to know what comes next. And then when they get to the final page of the book and they close the book, they say, I need to know what happens next. And so they're going to buy the next issue.
Okay, I'm going to acknowledge a few things. Welcome, Sir Das Wolfen. What's up? And Keely Chow, Andy Masterson, War Shark Productions. Hail. And I want to address this kind of, you know, directed at JT. I want to add something to it. Who loves cliffhangers? Only crazy people like cliffhangers. One, that's comic book 101, buddy. That's comic book 101. Two, I'm crazy and I love cliffhangers. So I guess I check out. And then last but not least, right here is the link to pre-order the Horseman #2, which I already did. I did cover B again. Gotta get my classic looking.
That throwback cover.
Dude, yeah, for the Horseman, that's been for the. I made a pattern for the Horseman exclusively. I do the throwback covers for the Horseman. I have patterns that I do for certain books. So, like with the Ira books, I've stuck with A. Isom, I've stuck with A. The Horseman, it's been the throwback cover. So
Okay.
I'm still figuring out where I'm going to be at with some of these other books, but I have certain things. I have an odd OCD of how I'm going about my covers.
Have you done
Zaylan
Zaylan?
is the only book where I've got multiple covers. I've got A and B, but I'm going to get D because I want that wraparound.
Oh yeah, that's our first wraparound cover.
I'm like,
yep. In fact, I can show that off right now.
Oh yes, in big and
I think that is right.
Well, let's see. I've got you on screen. So I'm being that. I'm being that guy. So now the pressure is on.
I found it. All right.
Oh yes. Let's
dig
do
through
this.
my short box. So here's Zaylan cover D. Right. Notice the spine wraparound. Right. No normal spine.
Oh yes.
So let me let's open it here.
Oh, love it.
So what kills must die. Wraparound cover D. Right there.
Oh, glory be. Glory be. All right.
This honestly is probably the work of Joe Bennett's career. This book right here.
I actually would agree.
And that includes his ridiculous work on Immortal Hulk.
Oh, dude, yeah, his work. Don't get me wrong. I've been aware of Joe Bennett for years. I mean, there's kind of a little bit of like I've kind of grown up with Joe Bennett type of thing because of how much I've seen his stuff over the years. The same way I can apply to like guys like Ron Garney's team. I could play it to obviously Chuck. Like, oh, go. Let me get that. Let me get you up, JT. Oh yeah.
Oh, you got me up, Nick.
That
There
Marvel.
you go.
Wow.
That Marvel. I wasn't even intending it that time. The one time.
Remarkably
Unintentional.
homosexual.
Yeah.
I
But
swear.
this, I love this B cover, Nick. I was going to say, if you had not done multi covers on this, this is so cool. This reminds me. I mean, this is obviously with modern coloring and more colors to choose from. But the old Battlestar Galactica comic run from like 1980, with the space in the background and the starscape and just some of that stuff.
He went all out,
very
man. He's
cool
got the Kirby crackle going there. Like that is the most throwback cover of all of our throwback covers.
I love it.
I think without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah.
It's so freaking good. Yeah. It's my
Frank Fosco is he did a phenomenal job with that.
He took his TMNT style and made it look like something that would not been out of place on like an Adam Warlock issue written by Jim Starlin.
Yeah.
I was like, hot damn, dude, this guy nailed it with that cover.
It was a hand in glove fit, that cover.
It really was. Yeah. I mean, that's probably if I took I think I said for me and a few of the guys I spoke with on one of my DM groups, as far as my Dixon Rippaverse book, I think Zalen's my personal favorite. But there's still a lot to love for me about the horse and, of course, the core as well. But Zalen's my overall favorite book. I mean, I like what he's got with the character. I like his story, and that, of course, Joe Bennett's art. I mean, oh my god! Like I think I died and I came back to life. Is what happened.
Well, I'm more interested in Zalen after having read Yaira Free. That's all.
Oh, don't dive in red Yaira 3.
Don't spoil. That's the
I don't want to say.
Dare. I will sue you, and you're on the show now. I'll still sue you. Don't you?
Yeah, but I just read and reviewed Yaira Free. Fantastic book. I won't say anything more than that, but Zalen's a really interesting character. I definitely think he's justified in having a mini series because he's going to have a role in the Rippaverse. I'm not going to say what that is because it's getting into spoilers territory. But just his crew, the way he holds frame. Of course, Joe's art is fantastic. I think it's some of his best art for the Rippaverse, and I think Jay Brown's a fantastic colorist, but Martin does a fantastic job of coloring Zalen, and that's what really knocks that book out of the park. It's just the color palette in that book. It just so beautiful to look at, and that's one of the things I mentioned in my review of Zalen, was just the colors really just drew you in. And there's just so many spreads in that book. It's like it felt like at some point, like every other time you turned the page, it was a spread and it was epic. It was like Zalen just like flying through the ship, all flying through the ship, or just like flying in his uniform. It just looks freaking glorious, man. But probably. I don't know. I think Alpha Core. I really liked Alpha Core when I read it. So it'd probably be a toss-up between Alpha Core and Horseman. They're probably like on the same footing for me in terms of what my favorite of Chuck and Joe's work would be. But I definitely need to read Alpha Core 2. And I think Alpha Core 2 is it's way overdue, but hopefully that comes soon.
It's coming, and its timing is going to make sense. When you guys get it, you're gonna realize why it came when it came.
Yeah.
And the book is coming along beautifully. Colors looking fantastic. Jay Brown upped his game. It's just the book looks beautiful, and everything that Chuck and Joe did very, very well in Alpha Core 1, they just do even better in Alpha Core 2. Like they expand and expound on everything that people loved about the first book, and they're just like, we're gonna do more of that. They liked that, let's do more of that, but make it cohesive, make it make sense. And you guys, Alpha Core 2 is probably top 3 books for me for this year.
Oh, okay, cool.
Oh man, my brain's gonna like explode. Okay, that's good. I want it to explode. I'm willing to take that chance in my life, so it's good. Welcome, Desert Nomad. Yeah, I can't wait to read Catch and Kill. Trust me when I say it was hard to not want to take out of the package before stream. Like, you know what? I haven't done something live like this on stream in a while. I'm going to go for the sacrifice. And trust me, I was tempted. So I had to like do other things to not get myself to just read it right off the bat. So
Catch and Kill is going to be a sleeper hit, I think, for people. The early feedback that we're seeing on it is positive. People are liking it.
Good.
It's cool. It's a completely different Sasuke story.
When is Alpha Core 2? Probably what? What do you think? Later this year? Much later
It'll be
this year? Late?
It's going to be this year.
Okay.
But it's gonna be soon.
Oh!
Q3?
JT's just like, can we think even further?
That's all you're getting. That's all you're getting. But it's going to be soon.
Okay.
And it's going to be, I can't wait. Trust me, I won't shut up about it when it launches because I'm looking forward to having that book in hand as much as y'all.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Nick, if you don't mind me going back to Horseman for a minute, that two-pager spread.
Which one? The Man Cave or the Alpha Core spread?
The Man Cave spread.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
When I was looking at that, a picture is 1,000 words, right? Or an illustration's worth 1,000 words. What I liked was this was a make your lair moment. And what does it say about the Horseman compared to anyone else? And, when you welcome to Flores Park, that kind of was giving me vibes of Batman. And I think it did to a lot of other people. When I saw this man cave, I realized he is such a different hero than anything that Batman ever was. Both Hector to Bruce Wayne to the Batman and Horseman. And I'm going everywhere from the Horseman uses firearms, which is a big difference in the way that the two think about things. But Bruce Wayne has everything bought and paid for him to the point where he doesn't make his own stuff. Wayne Enterprises makes all his stuff. When you talk about
Lucius Fox, right, over at Wayne Enterprises,
right? And with the Horseman, he put that whole like battle tank of a truck together himself.
Yeah, he's like, I'll do it myself.
Right. And did he make most of his armor too in the Welcome to Flores Park issue? I'm trying to remember how he made the Horseman armor, and I'm trying to.
That is a story for another day.
Okay. I'm not trying to slyly pull it out, to drag that out from you, but it was okay. Maybe it was, but the whole thing on this was I just looked at this page and it told me so much more about the uniqueness of this character and how this character thinks and how they're going to operate and how they might approach different situations is going to be very different than Batman. And I liked that because if I wanted to read Batman, I'd just go read Batman, right? And so exactly. I think I'm not the only one asking that question. How is he different than heroes that are Batman-like, right? That we've seen, not just him, because there's plenty of others that do that, where they don't have superpowers necessarily, but they're this vigilante justice character.
Well, that's called differentiation in archetypes. So you have the archetype in this case that we'd be talking about is we'd be discussing your street level, non-powered vigilante, to some degree of like physicality, some more brutal than others, right? Like on the extreme end of the spectrum, you have a guy like Punisher, right? And on the kind of more mid-range, you got your guys like Batman and Nightwing and such like that. What you get to do when you're building out a universe like we are is we get to take these existing archetypes and we get to say, okay, over the course of almost a century at this point, a lot of these archetypes have had phenomenal iterations, right? Your Batmans, your Punishers, your all sorts of characters. what we get to do, and what the writers over at the Rippaverse get to do, or anybody in indie comics that's trying to do something similar, right, and to create a unique world, is they get to say, okay, so I like this about this one, I like this about that one, I like these things about these guys over here. I'm gonna take those and I'm gonna kind of like flip them around, I'm gonna turn them over, and I'm going to amalgamize them in such a way that I am now creating something entirely new and unique that has that like flavor of familiarity, because you're never going to be able to realistically ignore that, right?
Mhm.
People who are like, Horseman has some Batman in him. Yeah, he does. Chuck Dixon wrote Batman for years, right? Like,
Right,
I don't know what.
Oh,
Are we really playing games here? He also wrote Punisher, right? So like,
Right.
and
Exactly.
to that credit,
Exactly.
like, you could not pick a better writer in comics to create and write a character like Hector, like the
Mhm.
Horseman, because you're taking someone who had a masterful runs on other characters within this archetype, and so he knows what works, he knows what doesn't work, he knows what he likes about those other characters, and he can do what I just described, which is he can kind of blend things and create something new, create something that is unique, create something that is his and Joe Bennett's creation, right? This is not Batman, this is not the Punisher, but you would be, bafflingly ignorant to say there's none of either of those characters in his genetic makeup to some degree or another, right? Even
Sure.
if it's only a small amount. So it's a really cool thing to get to do, and Chuck does it so freaking masterfully when it comes to the Horseman, because again, he had many years on the Bat family in general, not just Batman himself, but the Bat
Mhm.
family in general,
Mhm.
and Punisher as well. So he can do that kind of thing. And in the Horseman, it's so I grew up reading his work on the Bat family. I'm not as much a Punisher guy, but like his work on the Bat family, Nightwing, Robin, Batman, all of that. That was my childhood, right? A really substantial portion of my childhood when it came to comic books. And so as I'm reading The Horseman, I'm seeing Chuck and Joe do completely new takes on similar themes and on things that I know Chuck did extremely well within those other comic book universes. And he's like, okay, so what does that look like from the perspective of Hector? What does this type of thing look like for the Horseman? And what does that look like within the boundaries of Florist Park? What makes it different? What makes it unique? But what makes it something that people look at that and it's like, I see what you did. I love that, right? Because you're setting up the stallion and the stable, and you're like, man, we're getting Hector's getting his Batmobile and his Bat Cave, right? And even though it's absolutely not a 1-to-1, it's still like we use that as kind of the standard, and Hector is getting his version of it, right? That is
Mhm.
wholly unique to him alone. And it's so cool to watch because Chuck is just that good at what he does, especially within this archetype. I don't know if like there is a better example of a writer just being kind of in the pocket for what they are best at. Like the Saskas writing Blood Ruth is probably the only
hand in glove
other one
fit.
I could think of, because there's just like, wow, like the Saskas were like playing with home field advantage when they wrote this book, right? And that's what Horseman is for Chuck.
Cool.
Agreed.
Yeah, and so, oh gosh, there was something else I was picking up besides, oh god, the firearms in the vehicle, but that whole man cave just says so much about the character in a way that shows it to us that you don't have to.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, he'll be back. I'll go now just real quick. Does Wolfen asks about, is there a collected edition? Which I just pulled up on the screen. He says, my wife is gonna kill me. Bro, you only live once. If it spares you any pain, just say I told you to do. Just say I told you to do it, and you were under my demands.
We do also have Sezzle Pay as an option there. For
there you
orders,
go.
as long as they are US orders.
He's in the US. Yeah.
Okay, as long as they're US orders over $100, you can use Sezzle Pay over time as an option at checkout. So if that like lessens the blow for you, because not everybody's like, man, like $150, like pull the Band-Aid off, right off rip. That's a lot, right? It's 1,400 pages, 1,400 plus actually. I was just looking at the print file the other day. It is a big, massive omnibus. There's a lot of books there. It's every single major release of ours, plus the Ripazine short stories, 4 of them. Doesn't include mine. The cutoff was the Catch and Kill one because it was only strictly stuff that released up through July of this year. But that is a lot of content. But $150 is that's reasonable. That's a lot, right? Not everybody can just be like, I've budgeted out having $150 of excess spending money. Not in today's economy, most people don't. But what might be easier is whatever it breaks down to over the course of a few months, right? Some $25 here, $25 there, or whatever it ends up looking like, right? So we make that option available for people because we do understand, like, the economy is a little bit difficult right now for a lot of people, right?
Now, I don't know if you have the details that you can reveal on this yet, but I was hoping to give one of these as a Christmas gift to somebody, and they have no idea it's coming. Will we get the books in our hands by 12/25?
By Christmas? That is most certainly the goal. Okay. I don't interact with our printer, but I know that right now we are prepping and finalizing the print file for it. This is going to be one that's going to have a longer like print turnaround just because of the size of the thing. It's a hardcover, right? So it's
1,300 pages doesn't print overnight.
If 1,400 plus,
even
you know, 1,300 even would just. I mean, that's a long print phase. But the goal is to get it out sooner rather than later. I'm pretty certain. Again, don't quote me because I'm not the one in charge of all that. I'm pretty certain the goal is to have them shipped out so that anybody who ordered it, at least within the campaign or collection period, will absolutely have it in hand by Christmas. I'm pretty sure that's the goal. But again, I'm not the person to ask. If you wanted a more detailed answer, I would shoot a message to our help support team because I don't. I juggle artists and writers all day and social media. I don't juggle and our video content team. I don't juggle numbers. I leave that up to far smarter people than me.
Okay, I want to highlight a few things. One, just to let people like Daz Wolfen, Deeple know. This contains ISOM 1, 2, 3, Alpha Core number 1, Bloodroof number 1, Gooding 1-shot, Gyro 1, 2, 3, Horseman 1-shot plus number 1, Zaylan 1-shot, Great War Separation 1, 2, and then you got the 4 Ripazine story, Salvage, Searcher, Dirty Deeds, Catch and Kill, plus Eric July's Norfolk Glorious Death, and then the compilation of Saints and Sinners. So that's a lot of story there. A. Now B, this one is for Andrew because I see where it shows ISOM 1 through 3, and the colors is Sebastian Chang. Does that mean ISOM number 2 is under Sebastian Chang's colors as well?
ISOM number 2 remastered will be in the omnibus.
Oh,
way that'll be in continuity. For those who are not aware, the awesome Gabe El-Tayed colored ISOM 1 and 2 initially, but now he's so busy juggling all the stuff with his own comic book publishing company, Big Man Comics. Make sure you check that out. He just released Empyrean, I believe.
Earth Illuminated. I pre-ordered that.
Check that out. That looks pretty wicked cool. So Gabe's a great guy. He did awesome work. Check his stuff out. But because we brought on a new colorist, Sebastian Chang, for ISOM 3 to take up coloring duties, we were like, my OCD appreciated this especially. We wanted to have consistency and visual continuity within the series. And so we were like, let's go back. Let's have Sebastian recolor ISOM 1. That's what was in the Trinity omnibus.
Yes.
I
remember seeing that. I was thinking, oh, okay, so that's cool that they're doing that. But there's a part of me that was like kind of bummed that we were never going to get issue 2 of that. But now
that's going to be in the omnibus.
Now that's going to be a thing. Now that is going to be a thing. So now I'm like, okay, so there's hope in the world for that. So, okay, now I have something to aspire to. All right. No, that makes me happy. That makes me really happy because I really do like Sebastian Chang's colors. One of my big probably my biggest compliment I can give for Sebastian Chang's colors. It made me think a little bit about the Yaira comic in the sense that when you look at the Yaira book, it has its own color style. There's a lot of the lime green, sea blue going on. And the Isom book with number 3 has like an orange, fire orange, a little bit of a yellow thing.
Yeah.
And I feel like that it kind of reminds me of certain movies. When you watch a movie, there's a certain color palette to it. And that's why I feel like Sebastian Chang added with Isom number 3 was a certain color style to it. And I was like, oh, wow,
Absolutely.
he really gave this comic its own visual identity. And I say this as someone who loved what what Gabe did with Dean Cain, All American Lawman, Truth, Justice, American Way. Obviously, I pre-ordered Empyrean Earth Illuminated. But what Sebastian Chang added with Isom number 3, I was just like, oh,
He gave it its own kind of color identity, which was pretty cool. I do know what you're talking about.
That.
And he's an industry colorist. Like, he does great work. Like, he did colors on a run in Batman Beyond.
Oh, say I did not know he did those. Okay.
Yeah, and his colors are off the chain in this run. So he's like a really freaking good colorist. I keep bugging Eric, like, man, let's get him coloring some covers and stuff too, man. Like, he's really freaking good.
I love him. I love him. And then obviously Cliff Richards stepped up. Not only did he step up his game, but you see what he can really do when he applies the hell out of himself. And I've had some friends of mine who told me they liked his art on Flash Gordon. I'm like, yeah, the dude can do some shit. You gotta really see him for what he is, and he's very underrated. He did some old Rogue book like 25 years ago that people may have forgotten. Yes, look it up, guys. Rogue book. I think it was a mini series. Cliff is very overlooked, very severely overlooked, and
Cliff has done industry work for years. Like, we don't like. It's important to bring up fresh talent because you have to have, just like any good sports team, you got to cultivate the bench as well, not just your starters, right? You got to have guys who are ready to be the starters eventually, right? And so that's important. That's something we're trying to foster and cultivate over the Rippaverse. But we have a stable of like industry artists and colorists that have been working for a very long time on DC and Marvel, Dynamite, Image, the guys that have been around and doing this stuff for a while. So we're not just grabbing Joe Blow off a DeviantArt, be like, hey, want to draw a comic? Like, no, we're grabbing people that know what they're doing.
What's up, John? How you doing, buddy? Man? Thank you for dropping in, sir. I gotta get you on the show sometime. Eric the Guapo here has a great comment. I would love a Kenneth Rocafort cover at some point. I have thought about that. I was rereading the Broken 3 recently.
I would beat an old lady with a stick to get him on a cover.
Can I help you?
Absolutely. We'll double team her. She don't stand a chance. You
gotta clip that. You gotta clip that.
That's gonna sound awful out of context. I'm sure
I think it sounds awful in context.
But for real, like, Kenneth Rocafort's one of my favorite artists of all time, and I would kill to have him do a cover for my story if my story ever got greenlit for more. Like, he's drawn speedsters before. Like, some of the people don't know this because people have never heard any speedster that's not the Flash, but Velocity over on Cyberforce from Image is actually a major influence on my character. And he drew a mini series of her. In fact, I've got the trade right behind me here.
Okay. I'm gonna dig in you really quickly. Please allow me. Wow.
Absolutely. Let me pull some. Let me pull out some great pages here. Like, look, the man knows dynamicism when it comes to. Like, the dude knows what he's doing. He is an absolute rock star artist, and he has some of my favorite covers when it comes to speedster type characters. He's just so good at what he does. Let me get some more over here.
So clearly you have a speedster collection.
Oh, yeah, and not just the Flash, because I'm not a comic book normie, and Flash isn't the only one that I've ever heard of.
I love the hell
the man. This is also just it's a fast pun not intended. It's a fast read because it's 4 issues because it's a short mini. But this is like, check this out.
Who wrote that? Ron Lim? Did he write that?
No, it was Ron Mars.
Ron
Mars wrote it,
Mars. Ron
and
Mars. Okay.
he did a solid job with it. He's kind of hit and miss on some books. I wasn't really a fan of his stuff with Wonder Woman, personally, but like he did a really good job with this.
Okay. Oh, dude, yeah. I would love for Kenneth. Now I'm trying to think if Kenneth were to do a cover, it would either a Zaylan comic, whatever that would look like, a cover for Zaylan, or a Norfolka cover for me. I would love to see him do a Norfolka.
I'd love to have him do a spot foil cover for my character.
I am the one that's crazy. That's the thing, cross-examination. I absolutely am. It ain't anyone else on the panel. The panel's filled with more sane men. I am definitely the one that's crazy. Well, hey, you like Jay Garrick? Jay Garrick, I like Jay.
I love Jay Garrick. Respect, and in fact, you know what? My hat that I do not have on is tipped off to you if you are a bigger fan of Jay Garrick than you are of Wally West, because I appreciate people who put respect on Jay Garrick's name.
Jay Garrick does not get enough love. He
does not get the respect he deserves.
I love Jay. Shout out to Jay Garrick. He's not living, but we're still going to shout him out anyways, because that's how much we love Jay Garrick around these parts of YouTube. Okay. Let's bring up a little bit more of the Horseman, because why the hell
Let's do it.
not? Why the hell not? But Alpha Core's involvement. You want to talk about a part that made me be like, oh, dude.
Mm-hmm.
He almost got busted. Holy! Oh, this is Mike. Is that Mike S. Miller?
Where?
He said,
Where?
Sorry, I got Mike on my Christian channel account. Is that Mike S.
okay.
Miller? Is that Mike S?
Okay.
Because
Oh, yeah,
if
it is.
that
I remember. I totally forgot he had that cross-examination channel. Yeah, what's up, Mike? Shout out to you for your Horseman #1 cover B.
You're the cover that I bought. You're the cover that I bought. I love your cover, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Anyways, let's talk about Alpha Core's interference. I did not see that shit coming. I should have. And now I think about it, like it made sense, but I was like, oh, dude, he like talk about almost getting close to busted after he was like, he was so hyped, he was in the moment, he had the cool technology, he was getting to observe the situation. He was almost getting almost a little bit Bond-like in his observance, being 10 steps ahead, and then his moment got ruined. And he was pissed, which rightfully so. But I saw, luckily, it made for a great Alpha Core spread. Braxton continues to not talk much, which was great. And seeing Ingrid take her whip and freaking splash that gun, mollywopped it in half, was absolutely glorious. And then, of course, oh, dude, I can't wait because Ingrid's probably my favorite Alpha Core member. So I was just like, I'm glad we gave her a more shining moment. I was very, very happy. Once again, it feels like there's an earth rule of having Alpha Core in books, and I don't know if that is a thing. I just put my tinfoil hat on.
That's a world building thing. So
love it. I love the world.
If a story takes place in Florist Park, especially, then it's not unreasonable to have Alpha Core make an appearance to some degree, right? It can vary, but that is kind of their home base, their main base of operations, so it makes sense for them to be around. Now, you don't have to. However, if you're telling a story, depending on the stakes that are going on within that story, if it's in Florist Park, a good writer is going to take into account the fact that Alpha Core is a thing and they exist, right? And they're the super powered super cops of the Florist Park Police Department. So they need to be considered if you're telling a story that deals with stuff in Florist Park. Now, you can avoid using them. However, in order to do so, the story that you're telling needs to be fairly scaled down in terms of a larger threat level, right? Maybe it's a more tight underground type story, right? And then it makes sense that, Alpha Core didn't get a call for that one, right? But if Horseman's making enough of a ruckus in the streets and shit's blowing up, well, Alpha Core might get a call, right? And it's not unreasonable to assume that.
It depends what they have going on that evening, too, right? They
Yeah.
might be on something else. Nick, don't feel bad. I didn't see them coming either. That he took a pause just to, something in the back of his head was telling him to wait. And then then I was like, wait, what? I did not see that part coming either. So it was a cool surprise. I don't know if really surprise is the best word for that, but I didn't anticipate it either. And I think you're right. I should have a little bit more. And in the future, I probably will be thinking, okay, when are they going to interact with this non-Alpha Core team person that we're reading? But yeah, that moment, I was like, oh man, he got so close. And they gave him a very stern warning, a very clear stern warning in the previous issue. So
there was no gray in that in the words that were spoken. There was no misinterpretation, misunderstandings. It was very set in stone. Do not do this again. And right when he said everything,
there didn't seem to be much gray area in that statement.
No, none whatsoever. And he even said everything feels right. I should have seen it coming with the words "everything feels right." Like that should have been the key warning of when everything seems right. That's when things start to go wrong. I should have, but I didn't. And damn, I felt like Farouk in the APA when things were going their way for him and Bradshaw. Damn. I was ready, man. I was ready for my boy to be on a comeback. And then the comeback didn't happen. And so I'm looking forward to take 2. And seeing that vehicle, though, right out the bat, he went straight up molly-whopping vigilante style. I was like, this guy's going to unleash a whole other war zone here. That's going to be something from like Punisher Warzone or Death Wish 3. And I'm so ready for it. And the fact that all those he had that little drone flying in, I didn't think it was going to lead to an attack. I thought it was just going to be him inspecting, and that's all it's going to amount to. But then, boom, he comes out of the gates, and then once again, as Deeple said, we're being blue balled, but I was okay with it because it lets me know shit is going to just start right out the gate, rip roaring with issue 2. And you know what? I'm happy about that. I'm very happy about that. Joker, you live there?
Oh yeah. Sorry, I'm a bit tired.
It's okay. Hey, I gotta send you like a pack of like a giant gallon of Red Bull. And then,
No, I'm not like an energy drinker type of guy. Maybe I ought to be to
have some coffee.
Yeah,
or like tea, like a chai tea, or even green tea, a high caffeine green tea.
But no, if I talk, I ought to be okay.
Yeah.
I think the best use of Ingrid's powers is at the end of Alpha Core 1. I'm not going to say what it is because somebody
Alpha Core 1's been out since 2023.
Yeah, but someone in the chat hasn't read it yet.
Yeah.
Now we're all like, get. Yeah, normally Joker will talk now, so then we'll let Joker have the moment here. We were talking about Alpha Core's interference that pulled the rug out from Horseman having his moment.
Yeah, I wasn't surprised at that at all. Because when Flores Park ended, it was like, well, Alpha Core is going to get involved, and it's even foreshadowed because Hector explicitly says, well, I can't do this, Cal. Alpha Core is going to come for me. He's like, I'll deal with that. And so I was expecting, okay, there's going to be some show off between Alpha Core and Horseman in the issue. And then just like before that happens, he's able to bug out from that, and he's able to keep one step ahead of them. So I was expecting Alpha Core to show up in Horseman, and I like how Chuck did it, where there's still like, oh, there's this tension. You're not seeing that yet, that conflict, but eventually it's going to happen. And I imagine when it's going to happen, Cal's going to A, know about it, and B, have some sort of plan where Horseman will get out of it and be able to keep doing what he's doing. But that's really my take on it. When I was like, oh man, that's really cool. But yeah, it was something I was expecting, so I wasn't surprised when it happened, and it's a really cool spread. And of course, Braxwell is my favorite member of the Alpha Corps. Oh yes, and Garfield saying, "Keep me awake" by mentioning the Roman Empire. But I think I'm okay.
That'll turn the stream into a 5-hour stream, and nobody
geez,
needing that.
No.
We'll need to
don't
order some
need
pizza if it goes that long.
Yeah,
I'm gonna make some
Garfield
tacos
is
here in
not
a
going to
minute.
let that. You will never let go of that. As the inside joke for between us. That's the meme that's forever associated with me. I'm constantly thinking about the Roman Empire, but then again, who isn't?
You should be thinking
But
about
yeah,
the Roman Empire. If you can't be a man and not be thinking about that. Like it's just it makes sense. It's something that it's ingrained in us to be thinking about that, and I think about that. I'm gonna wake up, in the morning, have my big black coffee, and I'll probably read a comic before I go to work, and then somewhere amongst all that, between that and my music, Rome's gonna come to mind. It's just it's natural. It's a very natural thing, dude. It's as natural as the testosterone we feel when we watch like a movie like Showdown in Little Tokyo. It's just how shit works sometimes.
You have the biggest dick I've ever seen on a man.
Brandon Lee's famous words to Dolph Lundgren. Nowadays,
So
those words.
speaking of natural things that every man likes to think of,
Go on about natural things.
Where is this segue going?
yeah. So that vehicle is like 5,000% testosterone, and I loved it.
Oh heck yeah, it is.
The one question I have about it, well, the biggest question anyway, where can I get that minigun? And is that on a Zazzle thing too? Can I pay that off in installments? Because I need one for my own vehicle.
Depends on what state you're living in.
Yeah. I mean, you should be able to, because I remember, I forget exactly which of the founding fathers, but one of the founding fathers was asked by privateers, "Can we buy cannons?" Like, of course you can buy cannons. Why are you asking me? So yeah, it's you're supposed to be able to buy military grade equipment that's covered under the Second Amendment, but with the the National Rifle Act and all these regulations, and of course, I mean, buying this stuff is really expensive, because you're talking about stuff that's like in the 5 to 6 figures if you want to get that military equipment, and those companies they're not going to sell to private citizens for a myriad of reasons. But I mean, of course, a lot of that equipment ended up in Afghanistan, but that's neither here nor there.
Well, yeah. So, but I guess the nation of Texas just got that much more awesome after the Great War of Sep happened.
Well, I think you've got this combination of Hector being ex-military, so he's probably got connections of where to get this equipment, and then you've also got the fact that Cal Buxton probably has the ability to procure this sort of stuff. So when Hector is like, "Hey, I need a freaking minigun and the equipment to mount it to a Humvee," and Cal's like, "I gotcha," and he'll just put it to a dead drop. He'll get it, and then he'll just install it on his freaking Humvee, because basically taking like a Humvee and then really just souping it up. So like a military grade SUV, and then making it basically into a tank you can fuel up at a gas station. That's really, I think, what Hector was going for with the Stallion, and that's why it's so cool. And of course, I think calling his base the stable is probably a really cool thing as well. I like of course, he's a horseman, but like having everything be centered around the horse, like having the knight logo and all those sorts of things with Horseman is really cool for his character. I like that. I like the aesthetic. And plus, the horse is just like a strong working animal, and that's the impression you get with the character of Horseman, that he just gets in, he gets the job done, and of course he's not like Batman at all, where he doesn't want to kill people. He's just like, I'm going to wreak havoc. That's the Punisher's mindset. from my knowledge, that doesn't matter what I have to do, they're going away, and I'm taking out the trash. And I really just like that brutalism with Horseman. And then you also got on the reverse end, he's also got this compassionate side, right? He's trying to be a father to Danny, and I think he's doing a pretty good job at it. Like, you mentioned, it's like, oh yeah, like, of course I'll take you to see the movie your mom doesn't want to. That's a very dad thing to sort of do. But so Hector's got to try and be this father figure, but he also wants to be an honest man, because he's not doing these things because he doesn't have, because of like any sort of like immorality. He has a strong moral compass, but he has this deep desire to be a vigilante, which of course conflicts with what Patty wants. Patty does not want Hector to be the Horseman. He wants him to be just a regular guy with a job, to get married, and then watch football on the weekends. That should be the most exciting thing that he does. But he doesn't want to live that life. He can't live that life. And that's what's going to cause conflict in his personal life. So you're going to have that aspect. And then, of course, you're going to have all the stuff he gets into as the Horseman, in terms of just not just Cal, but with Alpha Core, with the the criminals that he's facing up against, who's going to replace Tuna. So there's just going to be all this conflict in his life. And of course, with Chuck Dixon being a writer, he's going to like masterfully place this to really just have that feel like all, like, I don't know, manageable. Not only manageable, just make it like I guess dramatic, tense, and entertaining for the reader is probably the best way to describe it.
Agreed. You know what I want to add? I am shocked that none of us have said, and I don't even think we've said it in much other shows about any of these types of books. What I love about the Horseman, and in this particular issue, the emphasis on secret identity. That concept seems to have been like a lost concept in a lot of Marvel and DC books. And that was actually one of my very favorite struggles, with seeing characters, live up to it. A lot of characters, they've outed themselves. Some characters it does make sense for. But I love when characters have to have that struggle to maintain it. And clearly Hector is in a situation, a bit of a pickle, if you will, speaking Sandlot style, where this is a struggle. I love having the secret identity being a thing. And I love that we're having a masked character in this on top
Secret
of it.
identities are fun to play with, man. Like,
So fun. Yes, it's hard, but that's the whole gist of it.
whole
It's
point,
just
that adds
epic
another layer of
complication.
conflict, right? That
Thank
adds another layer of both
you.
internal and external conflict. Like, heroes don't have to just have one specific conflict that they deal with, right? It can be an internal thing because they're dealing with past trauma, maybe they're dealing with some emotions of the present, whatever that is, but also external enemies. And then on top of that, the external enemies thing gets compounded when you're starting to talk about secret identity stuff. Like, what the Alpha Core would deal with is entirely different from someone like Hector or someone like my character, who does keep their identity secret.
Yes, we are so making secret identities great again. We are so
Important
back.
to me.
We
I
are
grew up with
so
Spider-Man,
back.
man.
How
Like,
secret will it stay? I mean, Danny
That's a
knows
great
who
question.
he is, and Danny is a kid that honestly feels like he gets beat up on the playground a lot at school. So he might be like, oh yeah, well, my uncle is the Horseman or something like that at a certain point. I'm just saying
that specifically is a question for Chuck Dixon. And you can, it's been a couple of weeks since he last did an episode because he's been busy.
Sure.
But he does have a otherwise weekly show that he does on YouTube. It's a recorded thing called Ask Chuck Dixon. You can email him. I believe it's brunobookstore@gmail.com. You can email him questions and he will answer them on his show. And he'll usually go into great detail on it. And very oftentimes he will talk things about the Rippaverse that we have not revealed to the public yet. And so because he's Chuck Dixon, he kind of gets a free pass because I can't really do much to rein in the guy. So you could ask him that question and he might actually give you an answer.
Oh, that would be cool. That would be
But
cool.
that's your freebie right there. Because I have zero control over Chuck Dixon because he's Chuck Dixon. I can yell at Eric and I can yell at the Saskas, but Chuck Dixon, I got nothing. I can't say anything.
Wow.
I have no power there.
One of the things that's coming up here in the chat, Nick, that I did want to talk about a little bit when we got talking about Buxton was that it feels like Buxton, Sir Book Sage said that it feels like Buxton is Hector taking out criminals or cartels. Who else does Buxton have for removing all of the other obstacles in his way? And one of the things that I thought was a cool little drop in one line in this book was mentioning that Buxton has thousands of acres of land, and I assume that's around Flores Park. So you assume that he's a very wealthy land owner. And when you have that, what do you want to do to develop? You want to develop that land. So if he wants to go and develop this land, now he has, the Horseman here cleaning up certain things. Is he going to say, my agenda is for you to clean up this neighborhood because I want to put City Sopa there or something, where I want to develop this land where really the drug cartel is in a totally different neighborhood. And maybe the Horseman knows that the operation needs to happen somewhere else, but now he's being told, no, you have to go over here, and then he'll have a falling out in what happens. What choices does he make? I think that might happen, and it might happen sooner than we think. That's just a guess, and I didn't know if either one of you picked up on that, but that's where I think the next conflict might happen.
I think personally, I'll let Joker take it after me. I have a thing we're not going to get misdirected. I have a feeling that would be a bit too obvious. I think who he needs to take out is actually sincere and pure. What's not sincere is what he could get out of it. He could be taking out people who might be considered competition from. Hector doesn't know it yet. Hector doesn't know it. But Cal Buxton knows it. I think there's something like that where it's, okay, it's an enemy and my enemy is my friend type of thing until I end up being your enemy later on. That's where I think the angle is going. And maybe I'm wrong. It could be how you see it. It could be, or maybe Joker has a whole other perspective that you and I didn't think about. And I'd like to hear what his perspective is on, because yes, this Cal Buxton character is very fascinating. Very fascinating. So take it away, Joker.
I don't think Hector has the foresight to be able to know where the operation's going. I think he can track down some things, but remember in Welcome to Flores Park, he was found out by the detectives. I forget their names because they ran his VIN number. He wasn't smart enough to park his car in a very inconspicuous place and then walk so that way they couldn't, run his plates. So if you're like that, and I still don't think he's gotten that much more, I don't know, intelligence is the right word, but savvy logistically. I don't think he's going to be able to get better intel than Cal. So he's going to defer to Cal to send him where he needs to go. And I think the falling out is going to be more over the motives of why they want to take things out. And also, I think Horseman's gut is just going to tell him that Cal's intentions are no good. Because like you said, JT, Cal's going to have ulterior motives because he's very wealthy. He owns a lot of land. He wants it to be developed. And I think he's going to view those things as what Cal is going to do with all of his acreage, with all of his, real estate, whether that's commercial or residential, is not what I would do with it. It's not going to be beneficial to Flores Park. So I have to cut ties with Cal and go on my own. I think that's more or less going to be the thing, rather than it being a specific event where you have Horseman who has information that we have to go to X location to take out the cartel or the criminals or whoever, and Cal is sending him to Y, and there's the conflict. I think it's going to be a bit of a slow burn where there's going to be chipping and chipping away at the working relationship between Cal and Horse.
Relationship before you bring it down.
Yeah, exactly. And you have to, that's why I said it's going to be something that takes a while for it to happen. because it has to be established and then it has to be torn down. I keep mentioning Invincible, but I think the relationship between Cecil and Invincible is one that there's going to be a lot of parallels you can draw from that and Cal and Horse. That is just my opinion, though. And
Sure.
yeah, I would say like more definitively after we've read number 2, we've gotten some like good action scenes and the fallout from that, especially how Cal is going to deal with the Alpha Core. We'll see how that, because that's going to be the big watershed moment in the beginning of the relationship, is him dealing with because the Alpha Core are going to find out that Horseman's back in the game, and they're going to go directly to him and to Hector and say, "Stop this!" And decent chance, Brian goes to Patty and says, your brother-in-law is sneaking off at night, killing vigilantes as the masked horseman. You got to do something about it. And I don't not see Brian doing that. So for Hal to come up with a way to get Brian to stop doing that would be a really big trust building moment early on in the relationship, and then it would take a lot for Horace to want to break ties. So I think something like that's going to happen. That's my theory, but that's just a game theory.
Man, knowing what's coming down the line is sometimes so hard. I genuinely cannot wait for y'all to read Horseman 2 and Alpha Core 2, because, man, Chuck has a plan. He's not a man just shooting from the hip. Okay, like y'all are in for a treat. Y'all are in for a ride, like genuinely. And for those who, because I know I've seen a lot of comments where people are like, they really loved Horseman 1, but they were like, wow, yeah, there was actually a lot less action in it than I expected. It's in number 2. The action, much in the way where there was a huge leap in terms of how much action there was from Great War number 1 to number 2. Horseman number 1 to number 2 is similar. Like there's way more action in number 2 and some pretty gnarly scenes. Like you guys are going to be in for a treat with that. So check that out. That's for pre-order right now.
Yes, we'll get that link in the chat. We'll also get the link for the Ripazine as well. What's on Muhammad said that I read Ghost Rider issue 5, Marvel Spotlight issue 14, Son of Satan, playing Final Fantasy 1 Pixel Remastered. My man.
Oh shoot, number 1 remastered. Nice.
Always on the fantastic stuff, Muhammad. Don't ever change,
taste.
My dude.
Excellent taste.
The man does have bona fide taste. He really does. So let me get these links up, because you know what? Why the hell not? Let's get these, because this is very timely, and considering we've been talking about the Horsemen, why not let people know, hey guys, did you just get your copy? Well, guess what? You can get the next copy now. Okay, so right here is the pre-order for the Horseman number 2, as well as Andrew, who's on our panel, Ripazine number 5, which, by the way, if you're a member, like an actual monthly member,
free standard copy.
You can get free standard copy if you're a member. So you can either buy a regular or a collector's, or be a member, you get a free standard copy. So you take your pick. But yes, these are the links. Guys, please do check these out, because why the hell would you not? Guys, it's going to be the part where we get ready to call it a night. I hate being that guy, but eventually all good things do come to an end. But I want to thank you all, Chad, for being here. Deeple, thank you for the Rumble rant. I want to thank all of you for being here. We had up to like 30 at a few points. Love that. Excellent. And I see I gained a few subs. Thank you, guys. I hopefully you like what you saw and you come back for more. I'm going to let these gentlemen plug their plugs as we get on the way out. We're going to let Joker start, because our man here, he deserves some good rest. And
absolutely.
Thank you.
I love that
I'm okay. I'm actually not Joker. I'm Brian Solari, because, I got the...
That's why you shaved and did the buzz.
Yeah, that's why I did.
You had to leave more up top, man.
Yeah, I got because you see he's like completely bald, and I still have just like a tiny bit of hair. But anyway, I'm Joker the Fool in reality, or that's my name I go by online. You could go to velvetroompublishing.com. that takes you to my Substack. You can check out all my links through there. Of course, it's Velvet Room Publishing on YouTube. I do the Braxcast every Saturday, Braxcast live on Fridays as well. Most days I live stream. Most Fridays, most weeks I live stream on Friday, and that's good. The regular slot I have for streaming 7 p.m. So if you like Ripaverse, then be sure to check out my channel. I review a lot of comics as well. I've written Machine to Man. That's my sci-fi novel. I think on Monday going to be releasing the prequel to that book, From Men to Machines. So it'll all be on the Substack. So velvetroompublishing.com has my Substack. You can check out everything that I'm doing. And there's a lot of content on the Substack, written and audio visual as well. So I'm doing a lot of stuff, but I'm not like in the best state to show myself right now. So forgive me.
It's okay, man. I had fun doing this again with you. And I hope I actually have a few we'll have to talk about it, like in our group message, but I have a few ideas of which would be the next thing we can hopefully agree on to talk about. It's really tough because there's a lot going, and sadly something has to give. But I have an idea. Well, we could talk about it because we could compromise. But I'm excited to have you on again, sir. It's been fun, and I look forward to more of this. So thank you for your time, sir. I hope you have a magical evening. And yeah, let me see if I could get someone to rent so we could plug your plugs. But seriously, dude, thanks for being here, man. I appreciate you. J.T. Kirk, sir, what do you got to say on your final words?
All right. So once again, it was a pleasure talking about this and hanging out with the whole panel here. This was fun. I was really looking forward to it all week. So what I have coming up next is at 10 p.m. Eastern. So gosh, in an hour, I'll be on Admiral Teague's channel, where we're going through season 3 of Star Trek Enterprise. So that is a fun show on Saturday night, Saving Star Trek, and we're going through 2 different episodes. And growing channel, growing community. We really love talking about that topic. A lot of Star Trek news lately out there, so we will be chatting about that too. Coming up around on Tuesday, I'll also be on Dad Been Walking 55's channel, and we're talking some sports ball. So college football is coming up quick here, and well, it's actually already started. We have had some games, and we did our Big Ten review last week, and we're doing our SEC preview this week. So we'd love to see you there. We don't always talk 100% sports ball, so a lot of people that don't know anything about that love to come and hang out too. So that's what I've got coming up in the next week. And yeah, thank you, Nick. Appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for being here, man. Love having you on here as well. This is fun when we get together and do this. It's just really it's the boys getting together, talking comics, and really going down the well with this stuff. It's really fun to be able to have these conversations, and it's clear that we bring the boys at the yard when we do it too, as they're in the chat. So thank you, sir. And all right, Andrew, sir, acknowledge things, whatever things you want.
So a few things, actually. I'm gonna prioritize stuff that doesn't have anything to do with me, actually, aside from these are people that I love. So my good buddy Royce, also known as A Drink with Crazy here on YouTube, he stepped away from doing super frequent streams and videos and stuff like that because he was focusing on his family, which I think is the correct priorities ultimately. But he is going to start getting back into doing semi-regular streams that focus on indies. And the first one back that he's doing is going to be this coming Monday night at 6 p.m. Central. And he's going to have on my boy Vaughn Coleman to talk about his book, Phenomenova, because issue number 3 of that is currently in funding on Kickstarter, as well as other platforms. And it is on track to be his best selling copy of his series yet. So right now it's at like 9,500 and change, I think. And I'll drop the Kickstarter link in the chat in a second, but I'll also drop the link to the YouTube stream. Please, if you guys even only just leave a lurk, please leave like set notifications for that so we can get some good views and good traction on the stream. I may or may not I don't know if I'm actually on that stream, but I'm definitely going to be supporting both of my buddies there, regardless whether I'm on it or not. But check that out. His books are a ton of fun. He's a young kid, and he gets it. Like, he really gets it, and he's freaking doing it. He's less than 500 bucks away from his first five-figure campaign. So
Wow.
he's
Oh,
like his
wow.
third issue is on track to crossing 10K here in the next few days. And I think the campaign, as of like this morning, only had like 8 days left. If it crosses 12K, there's going to be a free trading card added to orders. So let's get him there. So that's like more stuff for people that supported him. Let's please do that if we can. I'm about to drop the Kickstarter link here as well in the chat.
You have the power. You got managing mod, not even standard mod, but managing mod. You have the power.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. So that link is
Thank
now
you,
also
man.
in the chat. Please, guys, consider that. It's a awesome story. I loved the first 2 issues. I'm really excited to see how he closes out this first arc. Please check those out. Vaughn is an awesome guy. Royce is an awesome guy. I like to give him a lot of crap, though, but that's only because I consider him a friend. And I like to give my friends crap. That's just kind of part of having a Y chromosome. That's what we do. So please, guys, I'd appreciate you to show some love on YouTube for that stream. Again, it'll be 6 p.m. Monday evening, 6 p.m. Central specifically. Set notifications for that, and please, even just leaving alert. Like if you're cooking dinner, a lot of times I have a lot of friends on YouTube or Twitch that are like streaming, but it's like my dinner time, so I'll have them pulled up on my phone and I'll just be listening while I'm cooking and whatnot. So even if you guys just do that, it'd be super appreciated. But definitely say hi in the chat if you get the opportunity, and if you can make it work within your finances, please consider backing Phenomenova issue 3. Vaughn is an awesome guy, and he knows what he's doing, and he's got a lot of love for this medium and a lot of love for what he's creating. And I think it's worthy of your time and worthy of your money. And hopefully you feel the same. Outside of that, I'm a Chuck Dixon fanboy. Please pre-order.
You don't say.
Please pre-order
Never would've
Horseman
guessed.
#2. Please pre-order Horseman #2. The book is freaking awesome. If you were missing just a little bit more action in #1, #2 is where Chuck makes up for in a big way. It is absolutely high testosterone, high octane. It's what you expect out of the Horseman, and Chuck and Joe freaking bring it like only Chuck and Joe can. So definitely check that out. It's worth your time. We've got the McFarlane ISOM action figure as well, still currently up for pre-order.
I can't wait.
Which is doing really well. And the better it does, the quicker we'll be able to release more characters. My dream, so my wish, like even beyond like my own character getting a figure, my wish list is actually like a McFarlane getting to go all out on a Horseman figure where he can just trick him out with his batons, with a bat, with his sidearms, with a shotgun, with like everything. Like, shoot, give me the whole bitch. Give me one that has the stallion, right?
No, I like a Barbie playhouse, but like the Horseman, where you got like the stable, you can place them all in.
Do the whole thing, man. Like, hell yeah.
Yeah, maybe
Right.
for that, I'd be willing to take a cane to a couple of grannies, maybe. But I think
Yeah. See,
Oh, now we got him
he's
talking.
on-
now we got
he's
him on board.
There we go.
Now he's on board. Amen. Hallelujah. Thank you, Joker.
Oh.
and everyone has a price. We can convert anybody if they believe enough. But lastly, I did debut my first short story at the Rippaverse, Rippazine #5, which went live for pre-order last Wednesday. It is our first solo, like main focus speedster character. He's gonna be our youngest hero. The short story is called Blue Shift Tryouts. Please check it out. Edu Souza, who is my interior artist, did a great job capturing the youth and the fun of the character and his surrounding cast. He's a heart of gold character. The goal is for him to be a true blue heart of gold younger hero who wants to always do the right thing, but sometimes because he's young and because that means he's also going to be kind of dumb sometimes, he's going to make the wrong decisions for the right reasons, but he's young and dumb. And so that's going to cause problems. And that can make for some fun storytelling. That makes for some of my favorite stories just in fiction in general. So I hope you guys agree. Please check out Ripazine number 5. Blue Shift Tryouts is my short story in that. Yes, I also wrote more pigeons, and it's going to be up to you guys as to whether or not you want me to continue writing more speedsters or stick with the pigeons. So please be sure to let us know.
Oh, I love it. Guys, go back Ripazine number 5. You want to.
We
You
just
want
crossed
to.
1,500 books this afternoon, which is
Yes!
crazy. It's tracking extremely well so far. It's either 35 or 36,000 in sales right now, which for an $8 magazine, I mean, it's a lot of copies, right?
It's a lot of copies.
I appreciate every single person, whether you're just grabbing the free copy that you are entitled to with your Rippaverse membership. If that is the only way that you decided you were going to grab Ripazine number 5, I appreciate you. If you bought the standard edition, I appreciate you. If you bought the collector's edition, I appreciate you. If you were like, that's a badass Kanan White and Marcos Martin's t-shirt. Yeah, it is. I appreciate you. If you bought the poster, which is incredible, and it's Kanan White and my all-time favorite comic colorist, Andrew Dollhouse, I appreciate you. Whatever it was that you grabbed from the collection, thank you so very much for your support. You guys are amazing.
Thank you, Andrew. Hell yeah, man. I'm so happy to be able to read the story in a few weeks to months. It's going to be a fun time. I'm sure we're going to definitely be shifting to high gear with that one. And I look forward to it every step of the way. Garfield's Bizarre Adventure for $20.
Why?
Huge.
Woo!
Huge.
Huge $20. He says, buy yourself a pizza. Well, I'm going to. Thank you, Garfield. And you could have gotten yourself lasagna, but instead you give me that money to get pizza. Please don't tell John. Definitely don't tell Odie. But thank you very much. That is how we do shit.
Barbecue, huh? How do you like your ribs?
It's like winning.
Thank you, Garfield, for the 20. I appreciate you, sir. All right, guys. It's the part where we say goodnight, but some of these guys will have things that they're doing, like him on Admiral Teague. These gentlemen will go to their other caves. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting the show. Thank you for subbing. Thank you for hanging out. Love seeing the engagement in the chat. It's gonna be hard to see what book we can agree on. It's gonna get tough. It's gonna get tough.
Oh yeah.
But we'll figure it out. We always do. Thank you guys. Have a great Saturday night. All right. Goodbye. Good fight. Good night.
I smell horse shit. It's horrible, but I can smell it.